Thanks everyone for joining me for another episode on the Travel Collective where we get to talk travel. And today it's all about what to buy travelers. So whether you're trying to shop for someone who loves travel or you're a traveler and you're trying to give ideas to your friends or treat yourself, we've got some great ideas. So welcome, Nikki Page.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. This is like an awesome time of year and we can tie all of this in. So I don't even know where to start. You
Yeah, I
want me
don't
to just
even
start
know. Yeah,
sharing?
you
I
start
mean,
sharing and then I'll share
and then
something.
we can go back and forth.
Right. Because you've
So
been doing a
first,
lot of travel all through Colorado this year. So you've
oh,
probably
I have.
found things that work, things that don't work. So yeah, let's see what you got first.
Well, and kind of what's cool is I usually take my carry-on and the things that I don't use in my everyday life kind of go in it. So I pull it out and it has everything, which is kind of nice. So first thing I would actually say is my headphones. So I have my headphones and these paired with obviously my telephone. So by the time we get these two together, this accomplishes a lot, linking these two together. And that's probably the number one thing next to like my IDs and passport that gets put into my purse when I travel.
Yeah, that's great.
How about you?
For me, it's all about trying to keep packing things smaller and smaller because if I want to take advantage of some of these inexpensive flights, even domestically to visit family, it's like, going online, find out what the measurements are. And then if you're traveling with a backpack or one of those small under seat bags, which there's some great suggestions for those on Amazon or other sites, it's all about the packing cubes. So I like to take these packing cubes. I think we'll have a link to all these items. This one's like a compression cube, so it's actually got the double zippers. And what I like to do then sometimes is put stuff in a Ziploc bag, squish all the air out, zip it down, and then keep stacking. And then even if I end up with an extra packing cube, double putting this inside. It's amazing to me how much I've been able to cram flat in a back of a backpack, just an extra change of clothes and a couple pairs of underwear and you're good to go.
You are. I actually just took a trip to Texas and we were down there for 2 weeks and the goal was a bag each, a backpack each, which actually.
Yay, I
So let
know.
me let me show you this one. So this is one of my favorite ones. But just a good quality backpack. I like this one because I've got lots of zippers on it.
Yes.
And so I'm able to access, and then it's got the place for my computer on the back of it. And it slides right underneath the seat. And when I get on the airplane, usually I throw it underneath the seat, unless it has my computer in it. And then I try to make sure it's under the seat if I need to use it during the flight, but I throw it in the overhead just in case somebody around me spills something.
Oh, that's
So
smart.
I had
Yeah.
never thought about like somebody having a spill in the seat in front of me until one of my friend's computers, she's like, she held it up and it was just dripping. And I'm like, oh no, that sucks. So
Oh
I
my
actually have
gosh.
like a thing it inserts into that's waterproof. So if it does have something like that does happen, I'm covered, but I love my backpack because then everything just goes right into it and then it's on me.
Yeah, I love the backpacks too. That's my favorite way too because you just feel more mobile. You just throw it on your back. The thing is to watch the weight that you can get if you're carrying a lot of electronics, which oftentimes that's what actually my backpack will end up weighing a lot between my camera and the plug to my laptop and all that stuff. But we'll have to put a link with a waterproof covering for a laptop because I hadn't even thought about that either.
Yes,
And
and
most of the time I'm the same way. I've got my backpack that's got all my precious electronics literally slid under the seat in front of me, but I hadn't thought about the spill.
yep, and I thought I had it in there and I was going to pull it out, but it's actually in my briefcase. So
That's
but yeah,
okay.
it just slides right into it and I can just seal it right off. You want to make sure it's turned off so it doesn't get hot or anything, but it just slides right in there. And then like you were saying with the packing cubes, you can pack those cubes, the smaller ones, and stack them in your backpack when you're packing. And I don't know, do you roll your clothes?
Yes, I roll them.
I do too. So I had when we went to Texas, I had like everything laid out and then I rolled it as small as I could and used like everything on the sides and all the little top compartments and just kind of stacked it in there. And those ones that you just like push and all the air comes
Yes.
out, like what you were showing. Yes, but you do have to watch your weight. My
Yes.
sister-in-law has problems with that.
Oh, does she? Yeah.
Yep, she's always getting to the airport and being overweight because you can fit so much more into a bag.
Yeah, you really can. And that's why if you can keep making your bag a little smaller, it actually forces you to be a little bit more conservative. But and I don't have it with me, but I broke down and bought a luggage scale just for that purpose of if you do end up having to check a bag, you want to weigh it before you get to the airport. You want to know that it's either, you're over, under, but that's again, keep trying to pack less.
Yes,
The
and
other, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'll put one of those links for the scale weigher also because like I have one and I just leave it in the suitcase
I
because you
do
never know where you're
too.
going to end up. And then if you buy souvenirs, you can weigh before you get on the flight because
Yeah,
it's usually cheaper, depending on who you're flying through, to upgrade your luggage before you get to the airport and find out that you're overweight.
yes, right. I agree. And the luggage scale, like European airlines, when you're flying some of their smaller carriers, they have different weight restrictions. And I know in Spain, same thing. A girl found out like by weighing it, she's like, "Oh, I should go online now and upgrade my luggage based on weight." And it was
Weight.
cheaper instead of
Hmm.
waiting till she got to the airport. So the other thing
Yep.
I love is this new company called Hideaway, which we'll put a link. It's kind of hard to see, Hydaway, and they have these incredible like collapsible cups. They have a coffee mug that I was using religiously. This is more their drinking container, and then it's got a lid, and I love these. The key is you have to remember you have it to use it, but it saves so much, that takes up no space. It's the size of like this little disc, and it's super
I
handy.
have one of those too, and you can put not just drinks, but you can put like chips and grapes and
Yes.
your fruits and stuff into it. So when you're traveling and you're sitting in the airport, you're not buying $12, $20 little bowl of fruit. You've got it right there. So those are really nice. And with the lid, makes it so much nicer.
Yeah, and they have a really great lid. I have a different one that's more the metal for coffee and stuff, but I've even used it in my hotel room for like making a hot soup or, you know, stirring up some oatmeal, whatever. They're super handy.
It helps keep costs down on travel when you're doing that.
I know, yeah. So what do you
So
got,
let's see
Nikki?
here. Next, I got this is a great stocking stuffer, actually. So for suitcase, a lock. So
Yes.
I double lock everything usually, and these are TSA locks. So basically, what happens with the TSA lock is I can set my code, and then only the TSA people can access it with their key. And
Oh,
so I know that nobody, so the code's set, and then they need the key to get into it, which means that if they do have to search a bag, which they do randomly, I mean, it's not like they're trying to be mean to you, they're doing their job. Um, you don't want your straps cut. I've seen straps that don't have the keys on them and they'll actually cut your straps or your little locks that you put on them. So usually I get the suitcases with the locks and then I double lock it with this,
oh, smart. That is smart because I haven't
which
seen the straps with the little lock. That's perfect.
yes, and small. It's a great gift because you can just it fits in a stocking or in a package or whatever you need it to go into. So, and they're light to store and I just throw it, like I said, back in the suitcase so it's there when I'm ready to travel.
Right. And those are good even to stick on you like your backpack too. You can adjust those straps. Those are nice.
Yes. So, which actually is my next one. So you can get little straps. Have you seen these?
No.
So this is a little strap. This is like my go-to travel companion, man. It links through the top of the suitcase, like where the handle is,
Right.
and you can strap another suitcase onto it. So if you're traveling with like a big suitcase and a carry-on, or you're traveling with kids, you can strap the other suitcase right onto it. And so it kind of like hangs like this, and I'll put a picture in the link
Yeah.
below also. But it is a lifesaver because you can travel with more bags this way, and you don't need carts as you're pulling them behind you. So
Oh,
I like straps. Straps are good.
yeah, that's fabulous. So what else you got, Nikki?
So I'm sure you have one of these, your charger for
Yes.
a travel charger. Um, Let me pull this out of here.
I'm
This
glad
little
you have
travel
yours because I
charger.
just had to replace mine, but they are
I
invaluable.
My first, well, I had a little one that wasn't quite as nice as this, that only had like one outlet. It was probably about 10 years old, one of the first ones that they came out with. And this one is really awesome because I can throw my phone on top of it, and you can also throw your earbuds on top or anything you need to charge right on top as it's charging. So I can
Oh,
charge multiple things. So this all just becomes my next to my hotel bed or my travel bed in the RV or wherever we are, and I can throw all my stuff on top. And then it also has all the holes so that
yeah,
then you
that's
can charge any of
perfect.
your other devices like your Nooks or your computers or things like that. So
That is super nice, super small. And I love that
it
you put
goes,
it in a colored case because
yes.
so many things end up being black and then they get lost in the backpack. You can't find them.
Uh-huh. And then I've got all this, I've got my backup cords to it so that if I end up in a strand, I mean, like there was a lady in the airport the other day kind of freaking out because her phone wasn't working. She's
Oh
like, I just
no.
lost battery charge. And she's like, I can't find a cord to charge. And I'm like, here's a charger.
Yes.
So,
The portable chargers are invaluable. And some of the, I was just on a Southwest flight and they didn't have like the plugins at the base of the seat. So, if you want to read your book while you're flying or do any of the stuff that we're used to doing now to kind of entertain yourself, you don't want to run your battery down because then you're going to get to your end destination and now you can't call an Uber or get your ride or, yeah.
yeah. So, and it's always good to have a backup because you never want to be without it. I mean, we kind of take it for granted nowadays, but really our cell phones are kind of like our lifelines. I mean, you need an Uber, you need the cell phone to call for the Uber. So
Right.
it's not like in the old days where we'd just go use a payphone and call a taxi.
I
So
know.
those I think are very valuable to our travel, I think.
And they have some like new ones that are really thin, like the credit card thin ones. That's what I've ordered next to have. And those are great gifts.
You'll have to tell me how you like that one after you use it.
Yeah, I
So,
will.
what else do you have? Do you have anything
I
else?
don't have as much as you have today. I did put some links to like just clothing items. And again, sometimes that's harder to buy for someone else, unless you let them know your size. But layering pieces, I'm a big proponent of layering because, even though you think you're coming to like Las Vegas, people don't realize we have winter, it gets very cold here. And, they think it's just hot all the time. So having like an extra, layering a base piece, Cuddle Duds, Uniqlo. There's lots of different brands out there. You can go on Amazon. If you're allergic to certain fibers, like sometimes I have skin allergies, they do have the wool pieces. And the thing I like about the wool, they are a little bit more pricey, but they do breathe if it's hot. If it's cold, they're a natural fiber. They're great for travel. One of my companions in Spain, she bought a basic black dress and it was the wool. She dressed it up, she dressed it down. I was like, it was amazing. And it was one piece that lasted for days.
Yes, layering is very important, I think, because when you're on planes, when you're traveling, and we walked into a restaurant last night and I was freezing. And it was really nice when we were outside, but yet
Yes.
I was happy that I had my layers around me. So, let's see here. What else I have while we're talking about layering? Gloves. I think you
Yes.
had it on your list
Yes.
also. So gloves are really important, especially if you're coming to Colorado because it's cold.
Yes.
I think we're like 38
And
degrees or
I think
something
you've
like
got
that
the ones
today.
I like too that have the like you
I
pull
didn't
back
get
the
that.
little
Could you try again?
right
Yes.
fingerless and then you put the little those are exactly what I recommend because if you like to take
Yep.
pictures, you want to use even your cell phone for taking pictures, you got to have your fingertips able to touch the glass, the phone or the buttons. So it does.
Yes, exactly. And this also then allows me to be able to feel when I'm driving, I'm not too stuffy and I'm not like
Yes.
all covered up, but then the cold because we're windy today also. So popping on those right like that. Um, It's old and I need new ones, but travel bag tags. So do you use these? They
Yes.
wrap around the top of your luggage. So, and cool designs you can go in. I think there's probably places where you could go in and design them too if you're artsy and crafty so that I write the name across the top and then I know it's my bag when it's coming out.
Oh, I love those. Yeah. And those are super great items for stocking stuffers or if you want to mail a small gift and not, overdo on postage. But I love those. And I do exactly the same thing. I get the bright colors, I take a black permanent Sharpie and I write my last name, write
Yeah.
something on there because again, if your bag goes missing, there's umpteen other black bags, even red bags, purple bags. So you got to have something that's on there that's going to stay with it. And some of the luggage tags, actually, those little plastic things, they've broken off. I've picked up my bag and, two of the luggage tags that were on there have busted off. So
Yeah, but you don't want to end up with somebody else's luggage. So, um, I know you travel with one of these.
actually, I don't, but
Do you not?
I use my
Really?
jacket. But yeah, a lot of people do travel with those.
So yeah, I just find it more comfortable. And I think a lot of the reason is because I'm shorter.
Yes.
So my head doesn't hit the top. Like I think you're tall, a lot taller than me probably. And so your head's probably like my husband's where it kind of hits. I don't even come close. So this allows that support that
Yes.
I would get when I'm sitting if I was sitting on a pillow or something.
And
Um
get the actual size because I know just when I was flying Southwest a few weeks ago, they're on to the whole idea of taking whatever you thought you could take and stuff it and make it a headrest. You got to actually have one that is
See, and I've seen travelers do that, and I just, for some reason, I don't want dirty clothes up by my head while I'm trying to travel. It just don't make any sense to me.
I'm just
Um,
too honest too. I mean,
I
if they recognize it, now what? Where am I going to stuff all that extra stuff?
Yep, you'll be flagged, and nobody will ever give you a bump up either. They won't bump you to first class when there's an open seat or anything if you've been flagged. So they'll be like,
Right,
"Nope, she tried to sneak that on. We don't like that."
right.
So, the next thing, and actually, I got this. My daughter gave this to me for my birthday. A carry-on purse,
Oh, those
which
are
just straps
awesome.
over and it's got lots and lots of zippers. I mean, once again, I'm a compartment person and I I was kind of like, is it a little too big? And actually I ended up liking it because I could put my sunglasses and my sunscreen or my bug spray or whatever we're doing. And it's just a good quality outdoor bag. And these make really nice gifts too,
That
because
one's really nice. What brand is
yeah.
that? You'll
Oh,
have to
this is
put
yeah, and
that
I'll
in
put the
the.
link to the brand. It's a fashion what does that say? I don't have my glasses on. It's a professional fashion. So yeah, it's really nice. So with
That's a
the
great
liners and
size too.
it's waterproof too. So yeah, I like bags. And then once again, you've got to check because some airlines and buses and trains and whatever you're on, they take all of that into consideration on what a personal bag is versus a carry-on and things like that. So, which is kind of nice because that's small enough to be a personal bag. And
Yes,
I can fit my phones and my chargers and stuff into it, and I'm good to go.
right.
So,
And the other thing
eh,
I'll do too is that bag too looks like it like if you take everything out, like if you had to, like if you're going to travel with a little bit bigger bag to go in the overhead and then your backpack, I would take one of those and I'll put it flat in my backpack and then when I get to my destination or while you're on the plane, because once you get on the plane, now they're not counting and all that. Now I can rearrange, put all my personal items, like you said, your phone, your wallet, all that stuff that you're going to need right away. And now it's in there and you're ready to go.
yeah, and what I do the exact same thing. Or usually at the top of the backpack, I have my crucial flight stuff is
Oh,
what I call
yeah.
it. My telephone or my tablet, so I can pull that out of the drawstring. The backpack stays on the floor, and then I pull all of that out, and I'm not digging through my backpack trying to find my stuff while we're taking off or during landing or anything like that. And I'm not losing stuff. I'm really good at losing stuff if I don't have it in one area. So being able to pull that out like your little drawstring bag
Right.
and have that just with your phones and whatever you're going to play with on your book or whatever you're going to do on the flight.
Yeah. The
So
other thing I should have brought, and I didn't bring it, but we'll put it in the show notes, is the laundry sheets. I used the laundry sheets when I was gone. I was gone like 6 weeks this summer and going to all these places. And I was like, I am not, going over, I'm not checking a bag because I don't want to lose my stuff. It forces me to be more compact. I'm coming home, I can check the bag because I've got some souvenirs now tucked in there. But laundry sheets, this is how you can stretch your outfits, and they work really well. Just take, they're literally like pieces of paper, and they come in like gentle, they come in like different formulations. Try them out at home. I highly suggest trying them out ahead of time, which I did, to see how it works. Do you like it? How clean do you feel the clothes are? And I just put all my like underwear in there, and like socks, things that you can repeat, so you're not packing like 14 pairs of bulky socks.
We were just talking about that because when we were in Vegas and we were doing that, well, we've got a washer and dryer. So we were on a 2 week trip. So it was one of those we
Oh,
needed
that's nice.
to wash because we were going to change destinations. And I'm like,
Yes.
we can pack like 4 bags each, or we can stop and take a little time and do this. And my husband's like, we'll just get some of those things. And I didn't have time to pick up any, so we swung into the grocery store. I picked up a couple pods and just throw them in,
Yeah.
but I was wondering how well those work. So that's good to know.
I really liked
So
them. They worked really well. And again, make sure that whatever you're washing, if you're, because I was doing it like overnight, that the item that you're washing is going to dry. That's the big thing. Or you're going to be packing a wet item. And now, clothes do get moldy or smelly if they're wet and you pack them. Let's be honest. So,
they do. And when we were in Mexico this last summer, we did laundry, and I wish I had brought my own stuff, and the clothes never quite smelled as good as they did, when they were all nicely packed. And then it also makes your bag smell nice.
right, exactly. So,
hmm
yeah. So, what's your
So
next item? Do you have
I
something
think
else?
that's about, jackets.
Yes, I think we
So
both had jackets on our
layers of
list.
jackets on our list. So and rain jackets. I usually try to travel with 2 jackets, depending on what time of year and where I'm going. But I've got actually, and I can show you. Let me see.
I do too. I think, yeah, and we've got a lot of links we'll have. I'll put them in the show
Yeah.
notes too. Because I usually have two jackets also. One of those puffer jackets that
hmm
again, you sit on that and squish the air kind of out of it. You can
Actually,
get
this
it
you're right.
in,
You could get this into a pretty good pillow, and
but
then
I've,
you're less on what you're traveling with.
right, I've
So
actually left Vegas when it's 100 and nobody is gonna flag you for having that jacket. You might kind of have to throw it on as you're walking onto the plane, but most of the time, nobody's questioned me over a jacket. And some of the planes and airports, it's 100 degrees outside. The air conditioning can be like a refrigerator, and now you're super cold. So you've got the jacket, you've got it for your destination. But I also always pack a rain jacket just because then if
yep.
I need to layer, I've got that item to put over the puffer jacket.
Yep, and our rain jackets, I love them because they stuff into the pockets, which make them
Yes.
really, really, really small and compact. So I can just throw it at the bottom of the bag, and I've got it. And to be really honest, a rain jacket is as good almost as a heavier jacket because if you're in the wind or the chill, it blocks you, and you can put it on over the heavy jacket if you're somewhere where it gets really, really cold. So those are absolute must, jackets and layers.
Yes.
So, and I think that's about all I
I
have for.
No, I think we
I think we
ran
covered it
through
really
a great
well.
list, and we'll probably have a couple other little videos. We'll go through and find a few other things, but check the links. I'll put them in the description. Nikki's gonna put up a page, and what's your website, Nikki, where they can find it too?
It is vivapurpose.com, and I will get you an actual link to the main thing, but if you go into the main page, there'll be a link on it also. So, and then I'll get you a link to this page, and we can put it at the end
Yeah, for the
down in the
shopping.
down in the
Right.
comments for
Down
the
in the
shopping.
comments
So,
for the
yep,
shopping.
down in the
So
yes, exactly. So it is actually, they just texted me. It's vivapurpose.com top holiday gifts.
oh, top holiday gifts. I love it. Yeah. And now's the time to start looking because they're going to start putting out all you've got all those Black Friday deals. Get out there and buy up some great little, I mean, I think that we've highlighted some really handy small things and budget friendly items that travelers will love. So
Exactly. So it was great to see you, and I look forward to our next one.
I do too. Thanks, guys. Hope everyone's enjoying the holidays. Spend time with your family, and Nikki and I will be back soon. So take care.
Yes. Take care.